Hey there, I have a story to tell you, and it relates to resilience. And I mentioned chafed thighs, and you might be going, "What the heck does chafed thighs have to do with being resilient?" So, like I said, I have a story to tell you, and it just hit me today. I don't remember why it hit me, but I was like, this is something I want to share with you. All right, so I was in Girl Scout camp. I was in Girl Scout camp. I think I was about maybe 9 or 10 years old, maybe 11, give or take, when this particular thing happened. And we had a hike, a big hike. We had a big adventure we were headed toward. We were going to the pine forest. We had our backpacks, and we had the destination. And we were told that the destination is this beautiful pine forest that on the ground with all the needles, it's like sleeping in a soft bed, the cushiness of all the pine needles, and that it was just such a beautiful place that we were headed. So I was thrilled. And so we were hiking. We're hiking through the towns and hiking through some of the shortcuts through some of the side streets. And it was hot. It was friggin' hot. And I've always had juicy thighs, it was always my thing. So I remember having those gym shorts on, and my thighs were rubbing. And at one point, it's sweaty, it's hot, my thighs are rubbing, and they started to hurt. I mean, they really started to hurt. They started to get chafed. And there really wasn't anything I could do about it, right? We are on this hike, and I didn't know when it was going to end, but I knew it was going to end. And I always remembered this moment. I was having some pain. I was feeling the adversity of this trek to this, destination. And there was this part of me, it's like, oh my God, this is hard. This is really hard. However, then this voice, this thought, this moment happened where I was like, I will get to that pine forest, and I will be sleeping in my sleeping bag at some point today. Guaranteed. Well, mostly guaranteed. But I remember thinking, this is a moment in time that's uncomfortable. This is a moment in time that is challenging, and it will end. And at the end of the day, I will be sleeping, and then tomorrow will come again. And I always remembered this, and I've used this memory over and over through the years as a reminder that when things feel hard, when there are days when I don't feel well, when there are challenges in my relationships with my close peeps or with my intimate partner, that I will get through it. And in those moments when I'm uncomfortable and it feels painful in my heart, yes, when I was a kid, it was my thighs, but pain just is pain. Let's call it what it is. Pain sucks. And sometimes it lasts, and I get it. And I don't want to be too irreverent around, so you'll get through it, because I know some of you are struggling with some really big things. I'm talking to the everyday, regular, crappy shit that we sometimes have to go through, and moments of challenge when it comes to communication and people not understanding us or not showing up for us, or maybe our bank account not looking the way we want it to look. If we could remember the chafed thighs, and maybe you have a moment that you can remember that maybe not be around your thighs, but I always come back to I'm in a moment in time that's hard. And it may just be this moment. It might be this week. It might be a few months. I mean, I don't know about you, but the last few months have been a little funky with a lot of different things that are going on with the world, in my personal life, with my health. And as I'm moving through it, I remember my thighs, and I remember going, I'm going to get beyond this. I am resilient. I will find a way. And at the end of this, I will be sleeping. Or at the end of this, I will be on the other side of it. And so I wanted to share this story with you. You may not relate to the juicy thighs. However, maybe you relate to the fact that you've been through some hard things, some moments where you thought, how the heck am I going to get through this? Where you felt like you were going to throw up, where you felt like it was just, you're never going to get beyond it. And then you do. whether it's a breakup, whether it's a loss, whether you're like brought down to your knees, that at some point you got through it and you got to the other side of it. And maybe, and hopefully you even looked back and said, wow, I learned a lot from that. Now I'm doing something differently. Now I have a different relationship with myself. So my chafed thighs story is a reminder to you to be really gentle with yourself when you're having some struggles, to not deny that there might be some pain, and to remind yourself that you can do hard things, that you have not only survived but thrived, that you are resilient and you can get to the other side of it. And as you're plugging along, just like Burning Man was this past weekend for me, and everybody was stuck in the mud, there were people there having a blast because they knew it was a moment in time. They were embracing the moment. They were helping each other out. So when you have these challenging moments of heartbreak or physical pain or other challenges, I encourage you to remember that you will move through it and you are resourceful and you can lean into the tools that you have and you can talk to other people to help you through it, or read extra books, or get a coach, or whatever it is that you do to remind yourself it's just right now. And just like me, when I was walking and hurting, that little thought in my head that said, you will be in your sleeping bag tonight and you will go to sleep and you will be okay. It got me through. So that's my message for you today. I want to encourage you to find that still point inside of you to remind yourself that you will get through. And maybe things might change for you. And then you have to look at how do you want to change things so it feels good to you, so it works for you, so that you can create the life that you want. Make sense? So this was a little Junie Moon inspirational, hopefully, moment to remind you of what's possible. And if you need some extra support, you can look at the link below in the show notes to find a link to apply for a love breakthrough session or sign up for one of my events coming up. And just know that you're not alone in this. And you are resilient. You are resilient. You're here. You're still standing. And you can make the best of your life. And if you need some support, I'm here for you. All right. That's it for today. Mwah.
One more thing before you go. Have you taken my Discover Your Love Avatar quiz? It's a 2-minute quiz that can help you not only know your strengths, your superpower, because you have one, also identify some of your blind spots, some of the things that might be having you in your fear, having you behaving in ways that aren't in alignment with your highest self, the way you want to be when it comes to dating and relationships. And it'll also help you discover why maybe the stars haven't lined up for you yet. Bottom line is, you take this 2-minute quiz, you get a full report in your email with details on how to move forward in next level love, whether you want a partner or not. So you can go to midlifeloveoutloud.com/love quiz. The link is in the show notes as well. And if you haven't liked and subscribed to the station, I'm going to encourage you to do that too, so you don't miss any episodes. And I hope you got a ton out of today's. See you next week. Mwah.